Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I've been sort of busy for the past 3 days, but I've also used that time to digest version 2.6.0, which dropped last Friday, and there was a lot of stuff that came with it. So what I plan on doing is, instead of just lumping everything all in one video, I'd rather do the sections separately. That way people can find exactly what they're looking for and hear exactly what they want to hear, rather than having to sift through the entire video and then try and find what they're looking for. So the videos that I have planned right now, just to give you a preview so that you know what to expect in case you're looking for that particular thing, is that I want to do a general version update video, which will explain pretty much the general things, the not big things. So we're not going to go into PvP, we are not going to go into subslots, we're not going to go into 7 stars that much, but we will go over the general notes, just general notifications that people should be aware of that changed with version 2.6.0. Then we will have a new video for the new medal leveling mechanic, which is kind of interesting. So we will go into that in a separate one. It really is going to be a video talking about combining the same medal, how they changed trait rolling. So we will talk about that in a separate video. We will do a video about the 7-star update or 7-star upgrade, what it means to be 7 stars, you know, the strength, the defense, a bunch of other things associated with what 7-star medals are. Then we'll talk about the 7-star banners, which I will probably do tonight, just because there's only 3 days left on it, and I think it's important to tell people my thoughts on it before it goes away. We will do a video on medal optimizing, which is that new mechanic that they talked about, where you can pretty much have the game do the sorting for you. And then we will go into subslots, which is going to be a separate video. And lastly, we will go into PvP, which I have literally a whole page of notes on. A lot of stuff I want to talk about, a lot of advice I want to give, that probably won't be used until June, when we get a better outlook on what PvP is looking like, on what those blue fairy medals are looking like. So with that being said, now that you know the general overview, this is going to be the video where we talk about the general version updates. So this is changes to the game's mechanics, changes to the game's like menus and things that make it a lot easier for players to sort of sift their way through things. So let's go through the update notes. So the update was conducted last Friday. PvP we will talk about in a separate video. 7-star medal rarity, again a separate video. Subslots, that's another video altogether. So here's the first thing. All of the quests in the same quest line will now unlock automatically after completing a story quest. So unfortunately, because I'm caught up with story, I'm not 100% certain what this means, but I think it means that if there is one episode where you're in Agrabah, you complete the first quest, and then all of them will be unlocked. So you don't have to go through every single quest. You can pretty much go through the ones that have movies in them, the ones that have actual story to them. So you don't have to do the whole hustling and bustling about going through random stages, attacking random enemies, completing random objectives. They will just go uncleared, meaning you will not complete any of the objectives. And as it says there are some story quests that you are unable to skip. So probably what they're talking about are the canonical ones, where you meet your friends in Daybreak Town, where you do certain movie things that like are associated with that particular episode. So pretty much ones that have movies, I am expecting not to be able to be skipped. The feature does not extend to Proud Mode, so unfortunately for people that are having a hard time with Quest 160 and we're hoping to skip it with this, unfortunately that does not work the same way as it does for the regular story quests. There will now be a push notification that will be sent out whenever a party member activates their Lux boost, which is really interesting. I thought about why they would release something like this, especially when there are a lot of parties that are already coordinated, but you know, this could be really helpful for parties that aren't as coordinated, that kind of need a reminder when it's Lux hour because they don't set their watches, alarms, things like that. They're trying to play a little bit more casually, and it's just like, hey, here's a heads up, your buddy activated their Lux boost, meaning that there's probably something going on. Or if you wanted to stack yours with theirs, then you can definitely do that as well. So it's just a nice little reminder for people that it could be raid hour, that you could have better coordination as a party. So I just think it's a neat little feature that they added for the less competitive parties, just to serve as a nice little reminder. They added the following medal filter options. So 7-star rarity, special attack boost, special attack bonus 7, special attack bonus 8, upright, reverse, buff, and debuff. And then you're allowed to sort metals by the score bonus. So when it comes to things like high score challenges, like damage high scores, you will be able to separate the metals based on the percentage that they give you. So for example, if one metal gives you 21% boost and then another metal gives you 7% boost, you can sort it in a way where the ones that give you 21% will show up higher on your list than the 7% ones. So you don't have to pretty much go through your entire metal inventory. You won't have to fidget around with the filter options to get to the metal you're trying to look for. You just switch it to the score bonus sortment and then it automatically pops up. So let's go ahead and look at that metal sorting and go through the new filters. So here is our filter options menu. As you can see, it's gotten a lot more complicated over time. But as you can see, here's our 7-star one. So if we click this, it'll automatically only leave our 7-star metals. Now, as you guys can see, I did pull for some, and I will show you that in the pull video, or the banner video. But yeah, so it'll automatically sort by the 7-star metals, and here they are, and then you hit undone, and you're back to your regular metal inventory. You can also now sort by tier 7s and tier 8s, which is new because it used to be only tier 6s and higher. So instead, you can sort just by your 7s. So here are all my 7-star metals, which was really easy to find. Whereas before, it would look something like this, where it's like all this clusters of tier 6, tier 7, tier 8, just everything is bunched up together. But now you can be more specific on what you want, especially since tier 6s are slightly starting to fall over to the wayside in comparison to tier 7s and tier 8s. We also can sort by upright buff and debuff. So these are the two right here. So that is going to be upright buff and upright and reverse buff, or upright and reverse defense down. So as you can see, when it comes to being able to buff and debuff at the same time, I've only got 2 metals. One of them is HD Zac, the other is Lexius Plus. But you can also sort it so it's just giving you the ones that give you the buff. So here you go. And then you can also sort it so that it's also giving you the defense down. So here's that. So that's really neat that they're able to do that they made these filter options, because it makes it a lot easier for people to look exactly for what they're looking for. So let's say you wanted like Vexen Plus. So you know that Vexen Plus is a tier 8 metal. You know you might have it special attack bonus unlocked, and then you know, oh hey, it definitely gives me reverse strength up. So we do that, and surely enough, Vexen Plus shows up almost immediately, which is really, really nice, because as you get better with these filter options, you can find exactly what you're looking for very, very quickly. Lastly, when it comes to the filtering options, here is the score one. Obviously, right now, it's not really doing anything because there is no high score challenge going on. But when there is one going on, it is very likely that the menu will automatically sort where the 21% ones are at the very top, followed by the 14s, then the 10s, then the 7s. So that's just really nice, because then it lets you keep track in your head and also on your screen what metals give you percentage bonus for those particular challenges. Alright, let's head back to our notice and then complete this general updates video. So we went through all of that. Another change they made, which affects mainly new players, is that they made it a lot easier to get a Keyblade up to level 25, which is the baseline for all Keyblades. You should definitely have all your Keyblades up to level 25, because that is when they start requiring gems in order to level them up, and gems are a lot harder to obtain than any of the general farmable items needed to level up to level 25. So mithril stones, mithril gems, mithril crystals, orichalcum, and adamantite ores are no longer required as upgrade materials, which is nice, because the metals at this game are just so overpowered that those quests don't even matter. You know, at that point, you're just wasting time going through these quests, which are easily beatable now, whereas before they were very, very difficult. So I'm glad they got rid of it, because it just got rid of a lot of busy work for new players that want to really catch up to speed quickly and want to be able to play the more competitive things more quickly. Only one mithril shard is required to upgrade a Keyblade to level 1, which is okay, because they give you mithril shards just for playing the game. They come as story quests items, so that's okay. I'm pretty sure, an abundance of mithril shards at this point, but you get them as story quest objective completions, so not too hard to obtain. Only one of each upgrade material collected from stages such as curative leaves, copper ores, etc. is required to upgrade a Keyblade to +1. So that's really nice because, again, it's less farming. There was a point where you'd have to farm, especially for the Moogle of Glory Keyblade, you had to farm a lot of materials just to get it to the level you wanted to get it to. It's nice that they decreased it so that you're able to just level those Keyblades a lot faster, once again making it very easy for newer players to transition into the more competitive stages of the game. And then lastly, when it comes to the Keyblades themselves, the Moogle of Glory Keyblade quests are now permanently available. That means anyone during any time, it no longer has to be Saturday or Sunday, is able to obtain the Moogle of Glory Keyblade as well as get the materials necessary to level it up. So that's just nice because, again, that was like it's kind of a hindrance to have it at Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm glad they just made it available during the entire week, because that makes it, again, easier for newer players to transition in. So I have this whole page of notes that I'm trying to make sure I read off of so that I get everything that I want to talk about. All right, so when it comes to this section, unfortunately, obtaining the Keyblades, especially the Proud Mode ones, are still really difficult. So while they made all these changes, it does still take some work to get those Proud Mode Keyblades. So we're talking Fenrir, Counterpoint, Sleeping Lion, Missing Egg, Darkgnaw, and Diamond Dust. Those Keyblades still require a lot of work for you to punch through those Proud Mode missions to get them. But it makes it a lot easier, especially since we have that story quest skipping, to get things like Fairy Stars, which is currently the best Keyblade, to get things like Stroke of Midnight. So the canonical story Keyblades are a lot easier to get because you have that story skipping. But again, Proud Mode Keyblades still pretty difficult to obtain. And then this part kind of made me sad because I wish I collected them in my free-to-play account just to have them in my inventory for fun, but the following quests have been removed. The Materials quest are gone, the Mithril Madness quest is gone, and then the Adamantite Aura Challenges quest is gone. So that just kind of, again, removes some of the busy work from the newer players so that they don't have to do so much work just to catch up. No changes have been made to the amount of gems, Electrum Ore, or Dark Matter needed to upgrade Keyblades. Again, making it hard for the Proud Mode Keyblades to be leveled up, but it, again, gives you an incentive to play Proud Mode and gives you an incentive to work hard to get those Keyblades up to where you want them to be. Alright, now this is kind of an interesting choice. I really like this choice, but it is interesting. So the special quests, which are pretty much like the X-VIP quests, are now going to be offered almost every single day. There is a different one each day. So let's go ahead, head over to the quests, and I will show you what I mean, because I have not bought this week's VIP yet. So here it is. So Monday, you're going to get Evolve Medals, and it's not just separated by, you know, the Merlins, by the Cheshire Cats, by the Fairy Godmothers. Now you get all of them all in one. And there it is. So it's Evolve Medals Legendary, and you can get all the Evolve Medals from this one quest. If you don't need some of them, so you don't use Cheshire Cats, Merlins, or Fairy Godmothers, just feel free to sell them. You know, that's just extra money that you get to keep in your pocket. And then moving down, so Tuesdays is going to be the Evolve and EXP Medals Power. Thursday is going to be Speed, and Wednesday is going to be Magic. Why they formatted it like this, where they didn't put Magic in the middle because it's Wednesday, I'm not really sure. But another thing to note is that they combined the Evolve and EXP Medal quests into one quest, making it a lot easier for people to get what they want, especially when 0 AP goes away, because it's going to require less AP to go get both the Evolve Medal and the Experience Medal. So that's a really nice addition, in my opinion. And then, of course, Friday is the money one. Not really as relevant anymore because it's very easy to obtain money. But this last one is what I am super excited for, is that they made the skill quest, which helps max out your skill levels, permanent. They are permanent for VIP members, and they are available Saturday and Sunday for like free-to-play players or people that don't buy VIP for either that week or ever, which is really, really nice, because the old way to level up skills was to fight raid bosses over and over and over. So it's nice that they added this addition, because it makes it a lot easier for people to not hassle themselves on like, oh my gosh, like my Second Chance 4 has a 98% proc rate, and it's going to take a lot to get it up to 100%, because that's like from level 1 to level 20 in terms of the skill level. But now over the weekend, you can do it just all in one go, get it done really quick, and then there you go. Not enough time, or not a lot of time wasted fighting raid bosses in order to level your skills. So I really like that. That is super nice, and even as someone who buys VIP as a pay-to-play player / donating player, that's what I like to call it to make myself feel better. But as someone who does that, it's nice to have that skill quest, especially since it wasn't permanently available for even VIP members. So it's nice to have it for everyone all around. I really like the decision to have that skill quest in there. And then moving down here. So this is a different video. I want to go through this in a separate video. Fusing two of the same metal together, even if there are different rarities, will now result in the base metal getting a new trait. I will talk about that in a different video because there are a lot of different complexities, not a lot, just a few, that I want to go about separately in a different video, and I want to go through some examples with you guys. They increased the maximum metal slots from 1,300 to 2,000, or from 1,300 to 2,000, which is very good for everybody, especially since they paired it with a storage cost down campaign, and that is really good. This max inventory increase also becomes very important for 7-star medals, which I will go into a video later why these inventory slots become so important for 7-star medals. But again, that's a different video. So they added names to the jewel packages available for purchase. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't change anything really. Let's see here. We will go to purchase jewels. And as you can see, all they did was just change it. Jewel Box Plus is the weekly jewel extravaganza. Jewel Box A is like 100 jewels. I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's just better for organizing purposes. I don't know if it had to do with a recent wave of bans where they did that to a bunch of people. But maybe it has to do with that. Maybe it's just for organization purposes so that when they go through like their Excel sheet or whatever, they can just sort it and then it's all right there for them. Not really sure why they did that. But whatever. That's fine. If it helps them, it helps them. And that's probably why they did it, because as players, it doesn't really help us. And lastly, they added display support for iPhone X, iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it. So that's really nice, because I knew a lot of people were complaining about that, not being able to play because the game did not support the iPhone X display. I have seen it, and it's kind of ugly, to be honest. Like, not to be rude, but it's like, it's weird because there's the game, and then there's like a border around the game, which is just the standard like Union Cross like background border, which is really strange. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they didn't just make it like fit to screen, but it's probably a lot more complicated than I think it is. So I hope they fix it, because it kind of looks strange, but I hope it is something that gets fixed. With that being said, that is again the general updates that affect all the players relatively equally, because it's things like filters, the inventory stuff. So just a reminder that that's my opinions on the stuff, how it kind of helps things here and there. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer. But again, we've got a few more videos coming up, so I want to be able to kind of crank these things out really quickly. With that being said, that is the end of this video, and as always, everyone, until next time, take it easy.